It is by knowledge you walk in the rewards of the works of Christ. The more who the Yesu yema ono, na wo nanti ehwa ketuem. And until I was certain grace preachers who can say there is no need to pray. Because yes, you can live on earth without prayer. But when you go to heaven, you'll be rewarded on the prayers you prayed on earth. So it is in your eternal life that you realize that if you live an irresponsible Christian life, because you were enjoying from the finished works of Christ, you'll be in trouble. Enti na umbeti makacha say Yesu Kristo do obeye yenti. Ewu hiampo say Yesu den for reborn ni the only sacrifice. Enti wo hia se obeba afore o enokre. Wa ma afore mpo a obe survive wo wiase. Ewurade nhira betos. But ufri wiase a, the sacrifice of Christ will not cover you. It is your sacrifice that you will live with. That is why in heaven he will call us servants. You should have served before you entered. And all of your glory will be as a result of what you did on earth. Mikuta maketia. Nimdia ye nim wodi nyankopon be ye ma ye ho no. Eni senke ebrese you. Because the woye ye nyina, he made a sacrifice for the wholesome life that his believers must live. Enti wo, for you to be healed, for you to be rich, for you to be favored, for you to be glorious, for you to be that, it is out of the sacrifice of Christ. You may decide not to even do anything again, but you only have over 80 and 90 years to enjoy from the rewards of the works of Christ. But you have eternity to enjoy from the rewards of your own works. And in Revelation chapter 19, said the garment was your works. Unsanu nyuma. Said na dia wo yamanya mini nipa esrewa momunsre. Emre biba. Preaching na me preach ye wonya atwumu a eyosoro na obehunu. Never let my following deceive you that I'm a true man of God. It is in heaven that I'll be rewarded for the genuine work I did. Every following I have is by the mercies through the finished works of Christ. Everything I'm seeing is by the mercies through the finished works of Christ. Would you who be a Yesu Christo ye? But the ube who was so ye the newoye. And to the newoye, you will not get people to pay you. But remember, heaven will distinguish us. We will enter heaven. That is where we will know Grace Mountain, the real deal was not the pulpit. It was some people secretly praying for the church. And they were constantly praying and nobody saw them. It is those people who direct cars when others are listening to sermons and receiving declarations. No mu jambonti, no mu direct cars. One of these days, our works will play out before the Lord. That is when we will know those who will carry crowns, and those who will carry stars, and those who will sit, and those who will stand. I was teaching something this week and I was telling them that nobody is permitted to sit in heaven until you finished your works. It is for those who have finished their works that they sit. In heaven there is the assembly and the host of heaven. They are all standing till eternity. But Jesus said, some will come from afar and sit with your Father. It is only those that can shout and say it is finished that they have a seat before the Lord. And Apostle Paul will say, I have finished the race. I have run the race. I've finished the course. What awaits me is a crown. A crown is not for workless men. In heaven, there are those you will find with crowns. They are men who finish their works. There is no crown if you didn't finish. This is how we know that you came to pass through the world to fulfill your own agenda, or you came to fulfill the will of him that sent you. One day in heaven, forget about the fact that I'm the head pastor of this church. If I don't finish my work, there is no crown. And you will see people who were only destined to direct traffic in church, and they will have a seat because they directed till they died. Don't let it come a time that you will outgrow your assignment in life. When money comes and the assignment is to usher till you die. If money comes, favor comes, and the assignment is to do your protocol work. Do it till you come, because the agenda is that my meat and my drink is to do the will of him that sent me, and not just to do it, not to try it, but to finish it. You must enter heaven as one who finished your job. It says, so you there are categories in heaven, and more be nada. And until the Bible says there are 24 elders that stand before the Lord, and they cast down their crowns. And one time the 24 elders began to sing, and they say that worthy is the Lamb, for the Lion of Judah has prevailed, who has called us from the tongues and from nations and from the people. So even the 24 elders were human beings like us, but there is something they did that maybe we will not do. That is why they will be chosen as the elders in heaven, and some of us will be chosen as the common assembly. I was telling the people, I told them that the 24 elders, nobody has a priority. It's according to those that finish their works. That's why in this life not all will finish. Men may clap for you, but listen to me, align with heaven to see how far you have gone. That's why Jesus told them, he said that endure to the end, lest someone pick your crown. There is an agenda. If you don't finish the work, you let somebody finish, that person may carry the crown. The reason why we carry a humble heart is that, Lord, I must finish this work. Your work goes beyond carrying a title in church. Pastor is not a work. It is a description of the work. So a shepherd is not the work. It is a description of the work. So carrying the title of a shepherd doesn't mean that you have a reward in heaven. We will break through your title and see what you did carrying the title. That is why the Christ was not given to Jesus until he finished the work. Then the Christ was bestowed. If I were you, I will carry the title away until I finish the work. Don't run for the titles when you have not finished the work. It was after Jesus shouted, "It is finished," then the Christ was added to his Jesus. Why are we rushing for the titles when the work is undone? Can you imagine how this place will be if we all understand that there is a commission to go and win some souls? Do you know how this place will turn out to be next week when everybody decides to work? The issue is how many of us are working. How many of us? Hey, Kago Saziva. The Pompayama Yebusia. Yesu beba betu nipa. Omuyusu no. Aonyo no ne yusu. And then Yamia Juma your life. Yamia Juma your pictures. The nipa no ya no aye fast no aso microphone near trying to picture. Or ye Yamia Juma. So there are no true workers of the Christ in our time. And next year we will not see an effect, because everybody must live by Christ. According to John chapter 6, we must all live by him, but in heaven you will live by your works. And most of us that are bosses in the kingdom today will be servants in the kingdom in the new world to come, because their works today was not to serve, they were served. Be careful. Jesus' last warning was that the greatest among you is the one that will serve. Bring your heart down. Go down. That was his last example to us, that he called all of them and washed their feet. As an example, that every one of you, if you will be in this kingdom and will be great in the heavenly realm, then you must learn how to wash the feet of others. Ubetima konform. Ubetima bra ho ase. Unso ubetima be hihye nkonwa. Unso ubetima jai me ba ya che. Adon ho awura adwuma mu bi. Saturday dia na wo ye. Throughout the week dia na wo ye. Anti na wotwetimi twam na wonko kan nyame asem. Enti ubetima gina nyame ani ma nyame reason. Ade kronti a wontwe akrai. Ade kronti a wonfa wonhye prayer team we. Ade aga zugagamani. Enti mra ekoi. How would you explain yourself when one day you will stand before Jesus? How would you explain yourself that you use your time to chase a woman when you should be chasing souls? How are we going to explain it? If I did this job because of the money I'll get out of it, how would I explain? If it's because of fame I do what I do, how would I explain? There is a time coming, and many years from now, we will be distinguished in heaven. If Idahosa was Idahosa, it is in heaven we will see. If Billy Graham was really Billy Graham, this world will clap for him, but it is in heaven we will see. The kind of crown on his head will tell us the work he did. Don't worry at all. Heaven will distinguish us. One day, you be who the real person who was praying. You be who the real person who was winning souls. You be who the real person who was a lover of God. You be who the real person who was serving Jesus. We will see. And not many years from now, after 60, 70 years, we will all meet there. We will see ourselves. God bless you.